I'd like you to put your hands together for our Tribal Chief, Tim Davis.
School has been talked about for, I'm going to say about 3 decades. I was in my 30s back then, and used for it. Wow. So this has been on the tribe's mind for many years, and a lot of councils talked about it, and what kind of school should this be? So we deliberated over the years of different councils and how to pay for it, and thank goodness some people had some foresight to put some money away. So we did that, and we still talked about how we're going to fund it. Thank goodness we found the money to do it. We had a lot of work done by a lot of tribal people, tribal ops. We had Bonnie here. She was a big part of this creation. I appreciate that. Thank you, Bonnie. And during a lot of administration, Ronnie's administration when he was chief, Frank's administration when he was chief, and it's all the former chiefs here right now. So. But, Audrey Falcon, there you are. Yep. But anyway, I'm so proud to have this school here for my grandchildren, and I hope they really enjoy it. Do your parents enjoy it? All right, and just so makes me just smile that we're up and running now. So I want to say I miss the council members that have walked on, that this is a big idea of theirs too, and they'd be so happy to see it finally finished. And we're in school now in 3 weeks, right? Yeah. 4 weeks? 5 weeks. So I'm so happy that we're in the process of doing this, and thank God we got great staff here, and great principal, and I've got to holler out to my former employee back there, Joe Maxey, who keeps the safety for this school. Hey, Joe? And, so I just so happy. And we are able to purchase this land and get the site developed. So I want to thank all the tribal administration people that was a big part of this, our grant people, former councils, and the push from our children would ask, when are you going to build a school? We're working on it. We finally got it accomplished.
Yeah, so it got put out for bid, and we've done a lot of previous work for the tribe, and we really wanted to do this project. So put the bid together. Me and probably took 4 or 5 of us putting the bid together, and turned in a number, and had a post-bid interview, and ultimately we were the ones that got awarded the project.
The focus of my message is the Saskatchewan's Recreation Department, the Academy, the educational administrative staff. They were working in some older buildings for decades. Sometimes it was too hot, felt like an oven. Sometimes it was too cold, felt like a freezer. Speaking for myself, before my first term on the council, I was intern for Ronnie Ekdahl here while he was on the council, and I was the manager over there. And working in that building, I walked in there and we've had dead birds in the homework lab just on the floor. My question was, when did they get in, how did they get in, and when did they die? There's possums in the closet. There still are possums in the closet. So about 10 years ago, David Merrill and I was sitting down with the administration, Dustin Davis and Bonnie Ekdahl, and we didn't think it was ever going to happen. It was me and Dave were looking at each other like, why are we picking up flooring? This is never going to happen. And it's a long time coming, but I want to give a special shout out to all you staff and departments that had to bear those conditions and terrain for decades. So let's give them a round of applause.
So we've done a lot, you know, at the casino. I built Bruce Chris, Brendan and Joe over there. They've built Johnny Rockets and the Food District. Way back when I-5 was remodeling the whole floor, we were a part of that. So we come very recommended and honestly honored to do work for the tribe.
That's my work. I'm a bear clan. And I work for the people, to protect them, and to think about the future. I'd like to shout out to a couple of my friends and staff people who helped me with this process. Courtney Cogigab came in later in the project and pulled it all together. He was working hard and learning. It's always good to have somebody following in your footsteps, somebody learning behind you. So it was a privilege to work with her, and then the most newest newcomer was Patricia Alonzo. She's like a drill sergeant. She really pulled things together for the FF&E and things like that. There's so many details that you have to think about for a project like this. And then, of course, the one that always stands unwavering, Dustin Davis, to shout out for him. He was always the guy I'd come in with my big ideas and thumbs up, thumbs down them. So you gotta have all of those teams present to make things happen like this. As I reflected on this project, I thought of it in the terms of a medicine wheel. And in the medicine wheel, it's a circle. And in the very center is the Anishinaabe community. The Anishinaabe. And then the very, very center were the youth, the Anishinaabe youth. That's what this was about. Years and years of visions from our community, from the children who are now the adults. This is their ideas. This is some of the things that we were able to create. So the team is big. It was a huge team that had to put this together. And all of us had to contribute equally. Nobody's above the other, because it's not going to happen if that's the case. So the tribal council, the tribal departments, the tribal businesses, securing the funding, allocating the funding, all of those things require so many levels of approvals and red tape and the support that you need to garner to make those kinds of things happen. We had IT department, you know, all the technology. We wanted this to be state-of-the-art, this facility. And even though we weren't able to afford to put all the technology that we wanted in it, its infrastructure is in there so that it can be added as the future calls for it, as the programs are developed by these leaders within this building. So we're hoping that the future, well, it is bright. The future is bright. We look at this facility as a foundational piece to pull those pieces together. Bringing in the expertise of the people from the community and those departments. We also had to bring, eventually, we got to the point, I was hired in 2013, and so it's 2024. So it was a long process. And it's just par for the course for the tribal community. It takes time. Things have to line up just at a certain point. You have to be able to jump on those opportunities when it happens. So we moved forward in this, and we hired an architect. And that architect's name is Neil Ballman. That's from the Design Forum out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And he came with us through the duration of the project. There are many times that people get impatient, it doesn't move fast enough, but Neil hung in with us. And he's the one that put all our big ideas of all these people onto paper, the architectural drawings. And from that point, we were able to bid out and do all of those things that were necessary for construction. And we hired Konvinsky Construction Company, which is a local company. And Andy Tyson, Dick Sponseller, they were a part of that group. So every 2 weeks, we met as a construction group and went over all the details for this project to make sure. And then I don't want to leave out a person, although I tend to do that, is my brother, Tom Maajiikwad. He's a construction guy. He would always come in, see what we were doing, talk about what's next, get us through the bid process. So, of course, he's always notoriously absent whenever we do a ribbon cutting. But he's one of those behind-the-scene guys, and we have a lot of those people that do all this work. So many names, I could list them all. So all the people were a part of building this, creating this medicine field of the facility. It's all about our children, it's about healing, it's about building those opportunities for them to grow. We tried to create the space to grow, to be creative, and to be strength, to create the strength and commitment from not only the youth, but also the adults who work here, the parents who bring their kids here. There's opportunities. It's not just a school. It's kind of a hybrid, this facility, because it's built for the elders. It's built for the tiny ones. We didn't forget the mother's room for the toddlers. You know, we try to include the things that the community needs. It's big enough for these big events like the Round Dance and the Halloween parties where hundreds and hundreds of people come and squeeze into the little gymnasiums or the other little spots that we used to have. But we looked at all those numbers and tried to make sure that we put that together. So I just want to say, Maajiikwad for letting me be part of this whole situation and for inviting me to be here today. It's really been an honor, and it's one of the, as I was thinking and reflecting about it today, I just felt so happy, like, ooh, my shoulders, I don't have this thing on my back anymore. No worry, no stress, I'm fully retired now, so I'm leaving in a good way, and I have hope for the future that all of these program directors, these young people who are following me, will do some, and they came up with this little phrase, I want them to do some futuristic, strategic, collaborative planning for the building, for the community. It's not the pods, we can't operate little pods anymore. We need to work together because it's just going to strengthen it. There's just so many opportunities that will come along this path. So Maajiikwad for all your support and for letting me come.
I remember growing up back in the day and at the Tribal Center, it felt like we were there every weekend and there was always a big space and it was always a lot of community involvement and people bringing kids and you knew who everybody was. I feel like that's what this building is going to recreate for us. So I'm hoping it provides space for future generations in order to prepare and help learn and teach each other.
I'd like to take this time on behalf of the students and staff and myself to say Maajiikwad to our current leadership, Tribal Council plus Tribal Administration, and the past Tribal Council Administration that assisted in the completion of the vision of our youth serving departments. We look forward to the collaboration between the different programs and seeing how we can expand our services, educational, in the parks and recs, and community activities for our members.
We love the collaboration and partnership between CMU Athletics, and the tribe. It's so important, the heritage that we help tell, the heritage and story of the tribe and the relationship with the tribe and CMU Athletics, to all of our alumni, to our fans, to our donors, to our student athletes as well. We love the partnership. We try and get our student athletes out here in the community, volunteering with youth, and we love to have youth and community members on campus at our athletic events as well.
I originally come from Walpole Island First Nation, Ontario, Canada, and I am from both the Dawa and Oneida tribes, my mom and my dad. And Maajiikwad, I'm so happy and excited to be here and thankful for all the people that are here. And I've been really excited to be the first principal in this new school building. It's a great opportunity to assist the community with building programming that will match the beauty of this beautiful place. Working with the staff here has been awesome. I really appreciate the partnerships that we're developing with Central Michigan University, with SCTC, the Tribal College, the community organizations and departments have been, 7th Gen, have behavior health. Everybody's pitched in different ways. And it's so important for our kids to see us all working together to make a better place for them. I really am excited to work with my staff, my AB staff, the culture and language staff, all of our teachers, our parapros, Officer Maxey and the police department, the tribal police. We're working together really to develop excellent programming for our students, for the children in this community. I'd love to see this place grow beyond what it already is. I'd like to leave you with this phrase, this question in mind. This has been my driving force since becoming a classroom teacher, but also an administrator in schools. Everything that we do, and it's a question, but is everything that we're doing here good so that our kids will have healthy lives? So as you come in and you partner with us, please think about those things and let's work together to create a beautiful place for our kids and for our future generations.
Throughout all the years, the councils and the community really kept the dream alive. It never lost focus, and I think there's always a passion about what people want to do and what we need in this community. And the things I learned about being a part of that team was, for the future, you're building confidence, you're building identity, all the things that we want, for our little people and our families, so they can be strong into the future to carry all those gifts forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to have everybody here in our new facility and to see our beautiful building and something that we've worked so hard for. And I'm fortunate, like Joe said, to have served on the Tribal Council, been in the leadership through part of this process. I was a staff person before that. I was a youth before that, driven about this facility, and now I'm a part of this facility as its recreation and maintenance manager. And just very fortunate and very blessed to be here. I would like to give a shout out to my staff, my recreation staff, Kyle Shulman, Noah Salmick, Rashawn Red Star, Quincy Jackson, Tennille Bailey, Caleb Alonzo Vasquez, for working your butts off, going above and beyond, and thank you guys for just always being willing to step up. To my maintenance staff, April Stevens, Lee Strauss, Jose Gonzalez, thank you guys for making the transition, and I have a small maintenance staff, but you guys work your butts off every day to maintain this place, and we're continuing to improve, and I really appreciate all the efforts. And thank you all for being here. Incredibly blessed to be in this building. Like everyone said, we kind of had to endure. But we have this building to look forward to for the future. And we have all the possibilities and all the opportunities for our community and for our tribal youth to grow and to be better. And that's something that we have to remember, is that this is an investment into our whole community. This is an investment to the future, and that's really what nation building is about, is investing into that future and investing into the people that are here and the people that live here.
Well, I can see now that we've collaborated with Saskawans in the immersion program and the language department all being in one building. I've noticed the consistency of the children and the language learners, and my goal is that these older students, K through 5th grade, will hear the younger ones speaking the language and begin to ask, what are they saying? What does that mean? And then in turn they begin to use the language themselves, so then we can incorporate that into our higher levels of grades.
Emily Vegetation Plaza of Des Moines, Noel Norwegian Plaza of Des Moines, Chopé Vegetation Lion Plaza, Nishajan Padwog, my 3 amigos in Mission Plaza. Abjim netagzio the watch down, Mishnabem Tadian. Misha Akedotto. Abjiabu Mishnabem Simanti. The Enebe kind, Ikedo. If the National Scout with the one Vietnam Zio Bank on my gadget. They should have again. Vietnam Zio God. Many years ago, I did a little stint at CMU back in the 80s. And Lorna, a woman named Lorna, approached me and said, would you come and meet some of the elders during their lunch hour? They have an elders lunch. You can converse with them. Some of them are, there's only a few of them that still speak the language. So I said, sure. That's the three people I mentioned there, Emily, Eleanor, and Eli. I call them my three amigos because their names started with E. So we had fun talking the language, but the rest of the people, all the other elders, they really didn't know the language. Most of them had forgotten it because that building downtown, those buildings like that, where they counted it out of it. Being from survivor of residential school was quite difficult. So we're trying our best here to bring the language back to the kids. And we're doing our best, and the teachers are doing their best. And they're not teachers, they're just language speakers. They're old people, they're older. So it's difficult to get that information to the kids, because right now, back in the old days, everybody spoke the language. So as soon as a woman conceived, the fetus started to hear. Doctors say about 3 months time is when they start to hear. So that's all they heard was the language. They were born with the language. But now when we get the kids here, by the time they're 2 years old, they've had 2 years and 9 months of English learning. So it's very difficult to get them to learn a new language. And we try our best. Teachers are trying their best to get that information to them. And we have such a high turnover with apprentices and secondaries. I think there's a couple that have been there quite a few years, but the rest are 2, 3 years, 6 months. So. And it's hard to get them to learn. So I guess what we should, or I should, carry a big stick around and pound it into them like they pounded English into me when I was in residential school. That's not the way to teach a language. You gotta try to get them to like it, understand it, have fun with it. So we are trying our best to get the language back to this community. And I know it'll be a long, hard journey. I won't be here for many more years, so we are doing our best, and hopefully this new building will encourage parents to help come in and learn the language so they can say a few words to their kids when they come home. But that would help a lot, because once the kid hears their parents talking, speaking and saying a few words, they become encouraged. So be encouraged to learn. So that's, but like I said, I really appreciate what Bonnie did, because I watched her. There were days when she would just shake her head and wonder what's going on. And so all the meetings we had, I quit going to them after a while, because the building, they always started putting up the building, so I figured it's going to be here. So I attend more meetings. But like I said, language, we're trying to bring it back to the community as best we can. And I appreciate tribal councils that worked on this, all the administration people that worked on it. I would say thanks to all of you, and hopefully you have a good evening.
This is where we want to be. This is our home. You know, so when our families send us out into the public to go to the public school systems, there's always a sense like we're needing something that really helps support us and stabilizes our future. So when we have our young kids here today, you know, learning the language, that's something they're not going to hear anywhere else. And they can take that with them, and that really starts to change the person who they are.